welcome back to Europe. Welcome to Slovenia for the first time. How are you satisfied with this tour? How would you compare this tour with your first one in Europe?
I think this tour for us, response-wise, has been a lot better. This time around we're a four-piece instead of a three-piece, so I think our live sound is much better, and I think we're just much more confident as a band. We've been touring pretty heavily in the States and stuff like that, so now that we're back over in Europe for the second time, I think the response has been much better this time around. Okay,
so during this tour, the new EP called Teratogenesis was released. What is actually the meaning of this EP? Why did you record so fast after Chaos of Forms last year?
Scion, the label that we're working with, came to us and basically said, hey, we're looking to put out an EP for you guys, and we just said, hey, fuck it, let's go out there, and we had some extra material, and decided, let's go into the studio and lay some tracks down and put it out there. It's kind of gonna tide our fans over from Chaos of Forms and the next full length that we end up putting out, so I think it's kind of cool. We've never done an EP before, so it was the first time we've ever done it. So it's just something new to do and something to give our fans some more material, plus the fact that it's free. So I think that was cool. That was what sort of enticed us a lot too. Like, they were covering the budget and all that kind of stuff, so that didn't have to come out of pocket from us. But we still get to release it for free for our fans, so that everyone can check it out, scope it out.
Are those songs like leftovers from Chaos of Forms, or are they completely new?
They're new. I mean, we didn't want to put any filler on the EP at all. We're not really a filler band, so we always want to put out whatever we put out. We want to make sure we're passionate about it and feel strongly about the material. Now some of the riffs and stuff like that had been around from around the Chaos of Forms time, but when we actually sat down and compiled everything and arranged it, it felt like we were writing, new music.
So since Chaos of Forms, you have a additional guitar player in your lineup. So did he write a song for this EP?
Yes, he did actually. He wrote the song Maniacally Unleashed. So that was also cool. That was the first song that Dan's ever written 100% for the band, which was awesome because that it gives a little bit of a different dynamic to our sound. Having someone new writing some stuff, and I think it still sounds like Revocation, but it's got Dan's twist on it as well.
Okay, a little bit different questions. Were you honored when Metal Sucks announced that you're number one guitar player, number one modern guitar player?
Yeah, it was very honoring to me. I was actually shocked because they didn't let anybody know what the list was going to be. So I read Metal Sucks on my own, so I was following the guitar player list. So I didn't even know if I was going to be on it at all. So when it was getting down to the number one slot, I certainly didn't think it was going to be me. So I was very shocked and surprised to see that it was that I got that slot and very honored by it. So thanks, Metal Sucks.
Were in that list of those guitar players any your guitar heroes that inspired you through all the years?
Oh yeah, definitely. There's a ton of killer players on that list. Frederick from Meshuggah is on it. He's a big influence on me. I can't remember the exact list of players, but there were so many killer guitarists on it that it was definitely an honor to be a part of that list, let alone be number one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, since Revocation is known more for a lot of crazy riffs and crazy guitar solos, I gotta ask you if you're an educated guitar player.
Yeah, I got my degree from Berklee College of Music back over in the States. Graduated from there a couple of years ago. About 3 or 4 years now I've been a graduate of there. And yeah, I learned a lot. I mean, prior to that, I went to a music high school, so I learned about music from the high school that I went to, and then from there going to Berklee and studying in the college atmosphere with a lot of different players. That I was exposed to a lot of different styles of music. I studied primarily with jazz players there, so I learned a lot about jazz. I learned a lot about classical and just different improv techniques and chord voicings and all that kind of stuff. Definitely contributed to my sort of knowledge on the guitar for sure.
So that actually explains that you are also involving in your music, which is quite technical, a lot of jazz and fusion influence.
Yeah, we try and sneak in some different outside influences here and there just to sort of add a contrast to the music, because I think the metal parts we write are pretty brutal and punishing, and I think it's cool to add some different fusion-y elements here and there into our sound, because that's a style of music that I really love to listen to. So I think it just sort of naturally creeps its way in when we're writing stuff.
So you're probably practicing your guitar a lot. It's kind of strange now that you're not holding guitar right now.
Well, it's right there actually, so I'm never too far away from it.
So, do you also go to bed with your guitar?
No, I have. Very once in a while, if I'm really tired, I'll lay down in my bed at home and kind of jam out the guitar, and then kind of just fall asleep. But usually, when it's bedtime, the guitar gets put away.
Okay, so in metal scene, there's a lot of metalcore, deathcore bands, a lot of technical bands. There's some kind of a new thrash metal revival. So, where would you put Revocation in?
I think we're just sort of an extreme metal band. We have thrash influences, we have death metal influences, we have progressive influences. There's a little bit of black metal influence here and there on some of the songs, grindcore influences. I mean, we play with so many different bands, and especially growing up in the Boston scene, we play with all the punk rock bands, we play with death metal bands, thrash metal bands, so many different types of bands that have influenced us, and so many different types of bands that we listen to on a day-to-day basis. So I think we're a sort of homogeneous mixture of a whole bunch of different types of metal. So I guess the best way to describe us would be extreme metal.
Okay. So with Terror of Genesis, you're also representing a new bass player. Did he also is he also performing now vocals, which Anthony did?
He's doing a little bit of vocals. They're more like kind of backing stuff. Dan, our other guitar player, has been doing more of the trading stuff live, and he also did some vocals on his song on Maniacally Unleashed on the recording. So that was the first song that featured Dan's solo scream for the Maniacally Unleashed song. And I'm sure he'll do more in the future. So all the trading parts have been, Dan has taken those up now live, which is great because he's a great vocalist. Different style than our old bass player, than Anthony, but still really punishing and brutal. So.
Okay, so this European tour is over in a matter of few days, and next step will be probably American tour, which you already announced.
Yes.
And what then? What is the next step for Revocation?
I think either we're gonna do another tour after that, or just start writing for the next full length. So it's basically either gonna be a little bit more touring, or take some time off to write. I'd like to hopefully be home for the winter months, maybe just kind of go into hibernation mode and start writing, and that's probably gonna be it. And then we'll put out some new shit hopefully next summer, and then tour off that.
So you really toured a lot for Chaos of War and promotion. So
yeah.
Are you kind of tired of this already? Because they're tour after tour.
It can be tiring, but it's a lot of fun. It's invigorating to be in a different country every day. When you're in Europe, you're in a different place. I mean, we went out and checked out the Buckingham Castle around the corner here, and so there's an exciting part of that where you get to travel as well. But you get tired on the road, but at the same time, we just love doing what we do, and the response we get from the fans every night, is enough to just keep you going, and want to get back out there, sooner rather than later, because it's such a rush when you get on stage, and you got people that are really feeling your music. It's an addicting thing for sure.
Okay, to conclude this interview, what can people who didn't hear Revocation before, what can expect from a Revocation show?
I think it's just in-your-face metal. We like to have a good time on stage. We like to be aggressive, and it's it's solos and burning drum fills and just a lot of screaming and yelling and a lot of probably beer and partying afterwards.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.